Hello everyone, my name is Callum Ritchie and I'm a corporate solicitor here at the Jonathan Lea Network. In this video, we will explore how a buyer can ensure a fair price for a target business using a lockbox mechanism. These are very popular in M&A transactions and are often used in a very seller-friendly market. A lockbox mechanism is a pricing structure where the purchase price is agreed before the purchase agreement is signed. This is often based on a set of accounts commonly called the locked box accounts. These accounts can be either audited year-end financial statements, recently available management accounts, or even a pro forma balance sheet that's been drawn up specifically for the deal. Once this has been agreed, there are no post-completion adjustments, creating certainty for the buyer and seller as to what the purchase price is. A lockbox mechanism creates certainty over the purchase price as both parties fix the purchase price before completion. Unlike completion accounts, there are no post-completion adjustments, and this removes any concerns around potential disputes over the working capital or the net asset value of the target. The buyer also avoids any unexpected costs and does not need to raise any further financing post-completion. The buyer assumes the risks and rewards of the target on the lockbox date. This means that thorough due diligence is critical for the buyer because they cannot go back and adjust the purchase price based on new financial data. Since the seller retains control of the target between the lockbox date and completion, it is important the buyer ensures contractual protections are in place to prevent unauthorized value extraction. This is also known as leakage. Leakage can include dividends, transaction expenses charged to the target, and director bonuses. The parties will also need to agree permitted leakage. This allows the target to continue to trade on a day-to-day basis, and common permitted leakage provisions include intragroup transfers and also the day-to-day expenses of running the business itself. Since the seller effectively loses economic ownership of the target on the lockbox date and doesn't receive the purchase price until completion, the seller may be able to negotiate interest on the purchase price between the lockbox date and when completion occurs, or also a daily profit charge that accrues in the interim. The three key considerations for a buyer include enhanced financial due diligence. This is important as there are no post-completion adjustments and a buyer must ensure that they thoroughly review the lockbox accounts. Secondly, there needs to be a purchase agreement that clearly defines what constitutes leakage and what constitutes permitted leakage, so all the parties know where they stand. And lastly, the buyer must assess the practicalities of leakage monitoring. Sometimes in complex transactions and transactions involving a significant target can be difficult to monitor the actual leakage of the target during that period. The lockbox mechanism offers price certainty and eliminates post-completion disputes, and it's particularly popular in competitive markets. However, to ensure fairness, a buyer must ensure they carry out thorough due diligence and have well-defined leakage and permitted leakage provisions.